Hey there guys, this is Slamzeron aka YouTube's Tosuke. As you guys saw a while ago, I uploaded the video My Thoughts on Mega Man, but then I took it down. I did that because I felt like it could have been better. Although I thought it was presentable, I felt like I didn't really explain each of the games I was talking about in detail. I even left some stuff out, and it wasn't really organized. I think I should have organized it better. So I figured I should just go ahead and just redo the whole thing. I'm not going to do this for every My Thoughts video. I mean, there's some that would just take too much work, and there's some that I don't even want to, that are fine the way they are. But this one I'm going to redo, and I think it'll be better, so hopefully you'll like it. But if you don't, I don't care. It's just my opinion. But anyway, let's get started. So yeah, I like the Mega Man series. Like I said before, it's my second favorite video game series. Generally, what I like about it, I like the character designs. I think they're interesting. I like the graphics. They look nice, and a lot of them kind of look like anime video games, like straight up, like as if like they took an anime and put it in just video game form. Maybe not exactly, but you know, they're still kind of nice. I also like the music. The music's really good, and I think a lot of people will agree with me on that. And also, I think it's kind of fun to analyze the story a little bit. I think loosely, you know, at least Mega Man and Mega Man X are related, along with Mega Man Zero and Mega Man ZX, in different ways. And it's kind of fun to sort of think about, okay, so if this happened, you know, da-da-da-da. I think that's kind of fun. I like to sort of analyze, you know, the storylines, and, you know, I'm sure, and there are plenty of questions that probably haven't been answered and whatnot. To continue onward with, you know, the regular traditions of what I talk about, my favorite Mega Man character out of the entire series is Zero. My favorite character out of the entire Mega Man series. I think he's really cool. For starters, I like his overall design, and as you can probably guess, part of that reason is because he has red armor. That is actually one of the reasons why I like him, is because he has red armor. I just think he looks cool. He kind of looks a little bit like a robotic samurai, sort of. And I just think he looks cool and whatnot. I kind of like the way he looks in Mega Man Zero more than I do in Mega Man X. I just think he looks sleeker, and he looks, you know, a little more serious, and also he doesn't have those huge boots like they have in friggin' Mega Man X. That's something that always stood out to me, those huge little leg guards or shoes or whatever. But anyway, another reason why I like Zero is because he used a sword. I know in the Mega Man games, the main point of, you know, Mega Man is the whole shooting thing, or at least sort of. I know that that's sort of the main thing in Mega Man's gameplay, but I've always been more of a close combat kind of guy, so I prefer using swords over ranged weapons. That's not to say that I can't use a ranged weapon, like, you know, with Proto Man, or like Mega Man, or X, or Axel, or whatnot. I can still use, you know, ranged weapons, and, you know, I'm one of those people who always charges the Buster Gun while I'm moving, and then I unleash it whenever there's a big enemy and whatnot. I'm kind of one of those people. But yeah, I prefer using a sword, and so, you know, I always switch to the Z-Saber in Mega Man Zero and whatnot. And the last reason why I like him is because I really like his backstory. He was created by Dr. Wily, Mega Man's enemy, and he ends up becoming Mega Man's, like, best friend, or at least Mega Man X. He ends up, like, you know, helping X save the world a few times, and also, he has his own game series, which he saves, like, you know, the country or the world or whatever a few times. And I think that's kind of cool. It's sort of interesting to me. It would have really been interesting to me if he actually figured out that he was created by Dr. Wily. I think that would have been an interesting sort of thing. Of course, they didn't do that, but, you know, it would have been nice. One thing I didn't really like is that he kept dying in the series. He keeps friggin' dying. It's like, dang. That's kind of annoying. I mean, like, I know it's like a key point of the story, but I mean, like, do you really have to kill him off so many times? I mean, he's kind of like Goku, how he keeps dying every single time. Only difference is, you know, Zero keeps coming back. Well, actually, they both keep coming back. Never mind, that's a dumb point. My second favorite character would have to be Proto Man, I think. I like how he is also red, and he's cool looking. I also like how he has this little scarf thing, because scarves are cool. And I like his song. You know, the do-do-do, do-do, new, you know, that kind of stuff. That's not a very good version of the song. It's really mainly a whistle, but you know, that's a nice song. If I were to have a third favorite character, I guess it would be Bass. And before I continue onward, let me just make a point that it is in fact Bass and not Bass. I don't know if any of you guys ever thought about that, but I do believe it's pronounced Bass. I was one of those people who I played Mega Man 8 and I saw the cutscenes like in Mega Man calling him Bass and it's like, oh, okay, so his name's Bass. Then I watched Mega Man NT Warrior and they were calling him Bass and I was like, it's not Bass, it's Bass. Stupid dubbing people, they suck. Sup forever. No, just kidding. But then the more I thought about it and the more I did more research on, you know, Mega Man in general, I realized, wait a second. For the most part, a lot of the characters, or at least the core characters, are named for musical notes. Like, you know, how Mega Man's real name is Rock and his sister's name's Roll, Rock and Roll. And how, friggin' Proto Man's Japanese name is Blues, like the music genre. I think Bass's Japanese name was Forte, which is like another sort of musical sort of technical term. And how his little thing was called Treble, I think. I don't know if they changed it for the Japanese version. His little purple dog thing. That's also another musical technical thing. And so, to me, it would make sense for it to be called Bass and not Bass. I don't really know if there's any true way I can confirm that, but that's what I think. I think it's pronounced Bass. Anywho, on to what I like about him. I like how he kind of looks like he belongs in Mega Man X, even though he's a Mega Man original character. This again, you know, just the way how he looks a little more robotic, and how he has those big boy shoes. And I also like how for the most games that he's been in, I like how he has like that rapid fire sort of thing. And he's kind of like Axel in a way where he can shoot in like all directions. And that's kind of nice. He was always fun to play as, in you know the games that would let you. And of course, even in you know the Power Fighters games, I would still play as him sometimes. Those are my 3 favorite characters, somewhat. So now let's move on to my actual history. And let me be honest, I really don't remember how I got into Mega Man. I really don't remember. My cousin was really into Mega Man, and I think he may have introduced me to Mega Man. He like mentioned it to me, and then I just kind of had common knowledge after that. Or maybe I just had common knowledge from the get-go. I don't know. But, you know, I just don't remember how I got into Mega Man. I do vaguely remember going to Blockbuster one day and renting Mega Man X for the NES. No, Super NES. And that game was kind of fun. I think someone had already beaten the main level, because I remember having to go through a different level. I don't remember seeing Zero at all either, so that kind of helps with it. I remember it was kind of hard. Like, dang, this game's hard. I don't remember if I got to the boss or not. I think I may have, or I may have gotten close. But, you know, the game's it wasn't that bad, I don't think. However, although I don't remember much about Mega Man X, I do remember playing Mega Man X3 for the Super Nintendo. That's the one I remember the most. It was another day and I rented it. I was like, oh, this is cool. And I was playing it. And it was doing the little intro level thing, and I remember playing it, and then Zero popped in. It's like, oh, this guy's cool. And the music started playing. It's like, oh, this is cool. I like this. You know, that kind of stuff. I don't exactly remember. I don't think it's exactly the same way I remember hearing the song, but it was the song and whatnot. And, you know, the game was still pretty good. I don't think I ever got past much of the bosses. I don't think I knew at the time to do the whole charging thing, so Zero could like hold a charge, and then he could do the whole sort of shooting energy things out of his buster guns, but it was almost like he was punching and then slash with his saber. I didn't really think to do that. I don't even think I knew how to do that at the time. I mean, now I do, but yeah. And then I sort of took a break from Mega Man, not intentionally, I just didn't really play it. I was playing other games. And I believe I played Mega Man X4 next. I can't exactly remember. I think I might be switching it with the next game, but I do remember playing Mega Man X4. I really enjoy this one. I love the opening intro thing. I love the theme song, and it was nice. First I played as X. I was like, okay, this is Mega Man. And I remember I couldn't beat that little weird gargoyle thing. The second time we actually fight him for real instead of just hitting his hands. And it's like, okay, this is hard. Maybe I'll switch to the other guy. And I switched to him. It's like, oh crap, he uses a sword. He's cool. And then, of course, as I did more research over time, I realized that he was the same guy from Mega Man X3, Zero. I was like, oh, that's awesome. So he's been in the game for the entire time. And I played as him, and I was able to beat the boss. And, I enjoyed the game. Like back then, though, I couldn't beat any of the bosses. I wasn't as big of a gamer back then, so I couldn't beat any of the bosses. I tried the spider boss. That was a fun thing. I do remember getting a head start on the cutscenes, though, because I had like this little thing where I could open up. I had like this little converter thing, which was used to play import games on my PlayStation. But I could also open up I could also play music on it and open up the files of the CD, and I actually watched some of the cutscenes. I don't think they had the Japanese versions on there. I can't remember, but I watched the scenes and I saw how Iris died. It's like, oh, she dies. Okay, whatever. And the whole "what am I fighting for" thing. I'm gonna get to that in a minute. I actually have something to say about that. But yeah, the game was pretty fun. I remember getting to a few of the bosses. I don't think I ever beat them, but I still tried. And of course, nowadays when I play Mega Man X4, I can get to the Iris fight with Zero. I haven't beaten it yet, but at least I didn't do it. At least I was able to do it without cheating. And then this is the one I think I might have switched up. I think I played Mega Man 8. I do remember actually purchasing this one though. With Mega Man X, with the previous Mega Man games, I rented them all. And with Mega Man 8, I actually purchased. I think I actually recognized this one too. It's like, oh, this is the original Mega Man. Okay, I need to play this. I remember playing it, and it was a nice game. I was able to get past the first level. But as usual, couldn't beat the friggin' other bosses. I don't know what was my problem was. I guess I just sucked at Mega Man at the time. And I also remember in the intro, I thought that Quick Man was Zero, and of course now I know it's Quick Man. But yeah, that was a pretty fun game. The music was pretty good in that one, and it looked nice. And the voices were pretty good. I think the voice actor for Mega Man and Mega Man 8 is the same guy. Actually, the same girl who did Mega Man and who did X in the Mega Man X4 game. Going back to the Mega Man X series, I remember actually skipping over Mega Man X5 because my Blockbuster didn't have it, though I was aware of it. I had a magazine that sort of gave me the scoop on it. I was like, man, I want to play this. I want to play this game. And, I remember TransAngel actually showed me the magazine. This was actually in first grade, and I remember it's like, look, Mega Man X5. I was like, whoa. That was also the first time I saw the Black Armor Zero, which was the armor that inspired me to make one of my characters. TransAngel know exactly who I'm talking about, too. I'm not going to say anything, but, one day, if I ever get big and famous and I do a big interview, I'll mention it. Anyway. So, yeah, I skipped over Mega Man X5, though I did acknowledge its existence. I mean, that makes sense. And with that said, I moved on to Mega Man X6. And, I played it. It felt so different. I watched the opening thing, and I liked the song, too. It was like I think it was one of the first times I had actually listened to a Japanese song. And I saw, the thing where how, X and Zero, got shot, and Zero was, cut in half, and he was, practically dead. I was like, what the frick? Do X and Zero die? Wow, that sucks. But then I saw how, Zero, shoots the thing at Sigma, and then he dies, then shows X with the Z-Saber, and and then I actually started playing the game. I watched a little cutscene thing with the Japanese voiceovers. That was kind of nice. I always thought Mega Man had a good Japanese-sounding voice. I can't remember who does it. I think it's the same guy who does Chester. I'm not entirely sure. No, I'm making a mistake. It's actually the same guy who does Orphan in the Orphan series. Kintaro Ito, the guy who does Chester in Tales of Fantasia, did X in Mega Man X4. Anyway. And so, I played the games and I saw that I had to play as X. Like, what? I have to play as X? I don't want to play as X. I don't have anything against X, but I mean, I wanted to play Zero. I mean, playing as X is fine and all, but I wanted to play Zero. I did like